am super excited to be diving into the STAR scores, especially on this new report that STAR released, or Renaissance Learning released, that I sent to you guys. So, this is a sample from Renaissance. So, John Jacobs not a student at our school, but I wanted to pick out some key pieces that as students and parents, as teachers, are really important to us to look at. So the first is this chart here that shows the growth in the trajectory of our test taking since the first, middle, and end of the year. So the gray dotted line, if your student has that, that's the norm trajectory. So if your blue line is above, on pace with that, or below, that, is an indicator of their above trajectory, keeping pace, or maybe a little off course at this moment. So that's what this graph is showing us. And then down here we have our learning areas, and the key shows us that if there's some red, it means that out of the questions asked in each of those categories, there was only 0 to 59% understanding or mastery there. If there is a yellow icon here, that shows us that there was 60 to 79% understanding of those materials. So out of that group, that's how much was understood. And then if there's a green icon, it means that 80 to 100% of those questions in each of those categories were understood. And so some student reports, we have a little bit of each. Some, it is kind of like this example. It all kind of lines up. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that key there. And there is a key at the bottom for the useful terms, but I just wanted to explain it again on a video. The other thing you might want to look at is how the child or your kiddo's grown. And so this percentile rank, just like on the MAP test, is where they are at. If you were to have kids, 100 students, 1 to 100, how, so let's say John Jacob, he was in the 72nd percentile rank. That means he understood more than 72% of his peers. So, my example of 0 or 1 to 100, he would be the 72nd student. And so he understands more than 72% of his peers. So that's my best example for that one. And then this SGP up here is how your child has grown compared to our nationwide average. And so this is super important as well, because a 50% or a 50 here, SGP, means that they are growing at the average rate of other children in the same grade. And so we want to make sure that they are able to keep pace. And this number can also tell us, if we're not making that correct growth, that there's indicators that there's an intervention, or maybe they're making a ton of growth, and that would be an indicator of advanced placement. So lots of good data here. I'm super excited to dive into this for each kiddo. I apologize for my cat. But if you have more specific questions, feel free to reach out. But I wanted just to give some information and talking points on this data. Thanks, guys.